In the mid-18th century, the 13 colonies along the Atlantic coast were growing restless. These were not just outposts of the British Crown. They had become thriving communities with their own spirit, their own ambitions, and their own identity. But the hand of London pressed heavily, demanding loyalty, taxes, and obedience. The seeds of discontent were sown with each new tax act, each restriction placed upon colonial trade and freedom. Farmers, merchants, and ordinary citizens began to whisper of injustice. In taverns lit only by candlelight, voices grew louder. No taxation without representation. The crown, embodied by King George III, appeared distant and unyielding. To the colonists, the king's policies were chains, chains that bound them not only in trade, but in spirit. Yet from these chains arose leaders who would give voice to a new idea: liberty. Samuel Adams rallied the people of Boston. Patrick Henry thundered with the words, "Give me liberty, or give me death!" Then came the act of defiance that shook the empire: the Boston Tea Party. On a cold December night, patriots disguised as Mohawk warriors boarded ships and cast Britain's precious tea into the dark waters of Boston Harbor. It was not merely tea that sank beneath the waves. It was the authority of the crown itself. As the harbor waters carried away the tea, the winds of change began to stir. Pamphlets like Common Sense spread through the colonies, igniting the minds of farmers and scholars alike. The colonies were awakening. A spirit of unity began to form where once there had been only scattered voices. And yet, with every act of resistance came greater tension. The red-coated soldiers patrolled the streets, muskets gleaming under the sun. In Philadelphia, the First Continental Congress gathered, papers and quills ready, courage building in flickering lantern light. Chains were breaking, and the people knew it. By the dawn of 1775, the world stood on the edge of history. At Lexington and Concord, ordinary men stood firm against the might of empire. No one knows who fired the first shot, but it rang out across the world, a signal that the age of empires was giving way to the age of nations. The spark had become a flame. The American Revolution had begun.